Hey there and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be dehydrating some mushrooms, and then I find there's extra room in my dehydrator, so I'm going to look in my fridge and see what else I can do.
I clean my mushrooms and slice them. They fill up 4 trays to go in the dehydrator over there. But again, there's 2 extra trays because it holds 6. And I'm going to look in the fridge, see what else I have, so that with the same amount of energy I'm dehydrating these, I might as well fill up these trays with something to preserve.
The mushrooms, once they're dehydrated, to me, they're like a chip. Instead of going and get a bag of potato chips, get a few of these, a handful. You put them on your tongue, they're a little bit leathery, but it's so much more healthy. There's nothing on it, so it's totally natural mushroom. Very good for snacks. You could put spices on them, but I do not. Generally, not even salt. I just put them in the jar.
I found this celery in my fridge. It's going to be expiring, it looks like, in about a week, so I'm going to use that. Now, of course, I'm going to need parchment paper because celery is going to also shrivel up real tiny and it'll fall between the cracks of these racks. So I'm tearing the parchment paper to fit. To prepare my celery for dehydrating, I chop off the ends, then I even up the other end and I chop that off. Then I do the rinsing. I just rinse it off under cold water, sling that off, line them up again, and just do my slicing about 1/4 inch. I load them up on the trays, then I'm going to flatten them down with my hands. As usual, begin in the middle, work it out to the edges, just pat it lightly. I don't want them to be all the way out to the edge. It's just like the onions in my last video. They will get really tiny and lightweight and they could blow around, so I don't put it all the way on the edge. I have this remaining amount of celery that wouldn't fit, but at least I'll get these preserved. And I'll just toss the rest of this celery in some soup sometime this week. The temperature on my dehydrator I choose because that's the last setting it was on there. It was just easier because I'm in a hurry at the moment to just press the on button and start. While I'm in the fridge, I see the chicken for tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and get that out, put on the counter because it has to all be skinned. You just pull the skin off and then I rinse it for cooking the next day. Which has nothing to do with this video. I just saw it in there, so I thought I would tell you, but it is important to share with you. Planning my meals helps me not eat out so much, even if it's only a day in advance, but I try to do a week. And I always try to write it down, but I don't always achieve that. Now back over here to my dehydrator. These mushrooms and the celery both take about 125 degrees to dehydrate, and they both also require about the same amount of time, somewhere between 8 and 12 hours. So I just accidentally turned it off because this is only my 3rd time or 4th time using this machine. So anyway, so I'm going to check them since I accidentally turned it off. No, so the celery is still very soft and it's supposed to be crisp. The mushrooms, as you can see, they're pretty dry and they do taste leathery. I'm giving it a taste right now. They're kind of leathery, so I think the mushrooms are ready, but you see the celery bending here. It's going to need a few more hours. I'm going to take these mushrooms out though, and I'm going to jar them up. Now you talk about having sunshine on a cloudy day. Here she comes.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll use a quart-sized jar for these mushrooms, but it's probably going to take 2 quarts. I use a stainless steel funnel to make it neater. And as usual, here's my cloth napkins I made in a previous video. I use for a lot of things. I like to use those instead of paper napkins. You can easily fold up the corners here and create yourself a little funnel. Gives you a little more control, and then just dump it right in there. Okay, I got a little too much. I'm going to put these over here for the other jar. I'll demonstrate how I shake them down a little bit. There's a lot of airspace in there. I don't want to break them and squeeze them down, where they're tight, because I want to keep them whole for like the chicken marsala or my spaghetti, or just eating the individual pieces for snacks. So now I can fit a few more in this quart, then I'm going to get the other jar. Let's even these out just a little bit. Instead of putting a ring and lid, I've just got these leftover lids, I think from ghee or something, but they fit these. So because they have a nice rubber ring inside there, they will seal with my vacuum sealer from Rain Country, you know, Heidi's husband that made these. So I'll just tighten down the lid just a little bit. And go ahead and put that on too, fairly tight. And then I'll just pump it up. So I'm just gonna do a little experiment for the video. And when I take it out, I'm gonna see if I got a seal. Sounds pretty solid. And then this one here that I haven't sealed yet, yeah, it's a big difference. But what I'm gonna do is try to open it up, and then maybe you can hear the seal. Yeah, that was a good seal. So all it is, you know, I'm reusing lids from other jars. Like I said, I think it was my ghee jar. It might have been peanut butter. Moving on to the celery. Here's a pint jar with a ring and a lid. I'm gonna use the same. Actually, I will not need to use the cloth because I put these on parchment. Thank you, hon. I'm gonna use my funnel just to catch any mistakes I make.
Not really. If I wanted to, I could grind these celery up into celery powder, but I don't want to. I'm going to keep them like that. I haven't done a whole lot of dehydrating yet, so
I think it's pretty, you know, and I'm gonna keep it. It's in my pantry.
Well, thanks for coming over and watching my video. Hope you'll come back and watch my next video,
where my partner and I quickly build arbors in our backyard for gardening, things that climb like fruits, vegetables, and flowers.
Godspeed.
Where's your toy? What? There you are. Mr. Toy. Mr. Fishy.